He said okay? All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I move to,
Wait, we gotta do the roll.
oh, thank you for the reminder. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Absolutely. Supervisor Moore.
Present.
Councilwoman McNamara.
Present.
Councilman Iacilli.
Here.
Councilman Powell.
Here.
Councilman Scibone.
Present.
All right, now I move for us to go into, not close the meeting, but we're going to go into executive session for some confidential legal advice. And we won't be taking any action, and then we'll return to continue with the work session.
So how long do you think we're going to be, to let people know? About an hour?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Approximately. Approximately 1 hour. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move to re-enter the work session, or recommence the work session.
Oh,
Yeah,
second.
that's,
All in favor?
Aye. Sorry, I was paying attention.
All right, so we have representatives from the Long Island Science Center Environmental Justice Project. Anna Landau, Director of Education and Admission. Would you all like to come up and join us at the dais?
Hi.
Hi.
So let me introduce myself. Some of
Yes,
you know me,
please.
some of you, I'm a new face for some. Larry Oxman, I'm the founder of the Long Island Science Center. I joke when we first started many moons ago, I had brown hair. So, but we wanted to talk about this specific program, but I don't, how many people have ever visited the Science Center, just out of curiosity? So,
I took
Years
my
ago.
daughters there when they were little.
okay, all right, probably a
Hi,
different
Larry.
location. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want the rest of you to introduce
Sure.
yourselves?
Sure. My name is Judy Rentis, and I'm the program director. I also do a lot of the education programs as well, and I work very closely with Ms. Anna Lando on this project that we're kind of bringing forward today.
Thank you.
It might be a good idea to let the people know exactly where it is who are watching it.
Sure.
With the
The
center.
Science Center?
Yeah.
Sure. So it's the Long Island Science
Did you,
Center.
did you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name's Anna Lando. I've been working at the Science Center as the administrative educator, assistant in the museum, and then I'm also the quality assurance manager for the Environmental Justice Project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is
so-
that connected, the Environmental Justice Project? With
Oh,
the-
yes, it's something run through the Science Center.
Oh, interesting.
It's been going on for about 6 years now.
Oh.
So the Long Island Science Center, we're located in Riverhead. Currently, we're in a pop-up location at the Tanger Outlet. We had been down on Main Street. We had sold that facility, and about 3 years ago, we purchased another building on Main Street, the former Sweezy Department Store. So we're in the process of trying to get our permits so that we can open up. It's a 24,000 square foot building. We're in the process of trying to get our building permits so that we can open up in that location. I think it's important to point out the name, the Long Island Science Center. Many people think of us as a Riverhead organization. We're really not. One of the reasons why we went to Riverhead was the location of the aquarium, because we think that we will be a destination similar to the aquarium. So if the aquarium was in Patchogue, it was in Southampton Village, we'd probably want to be next to it there. So, in the past, you had given us funding for this specific program. We're here to talk about the program and what our needs are. We're looking for, hopefully, for the similar support, if not more. In the past, you had given us $5,000. We're looking to increase that to $10,000. And Anna can talk a little bit more about that. But our funding sources in the past have run out. So they were COVID related again. Anna can address those issues.
Was that CDBG money, does the board know, or
I'm trying to
in the
remember.
past?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was.
What the source of the funding
Yeah,
was?
so our executive director said that the funding for this project is actually from the section of funding towards water quality monitoring, as that is a part of our environmental study.
WQPRP money?
Interesting.
Could be.
You were also looking at the site
I
on
don't know if
105
that's
and
accurate.
and 24 at one point, right?
To find out.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had met about
Right.
that site, and
Ex-Janus.
the owners started to reconsider
Mhm.
what their offer to us. It's
Right.
not entirely dead,
Okay.
but at the same time,
Yeah.
there was hesitancy on their part,
Yeah.
so we
What site was
couldn't
that?
go
The
forward.
funding source is related to COVID. I think that was the question.
Yeah.
That didn't come from the town of Southampton.
Oh, no, that
you-
came from the Environmental Protection Agency.
Okay, right.
Right.
But you said the town previously was giving $5,000 a year.
They had given $5,000.
cable
was.
vision or
Yeah,
the
that was one of our
community development
grants.
block
But I
grant,
think I
because we've
saw
got an
that on the
educational
list.
function.
There's also a fund, I believe, that was set up and seeded money, the town seeded money to the fund for this purpose, so.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
And so what was the project? Because I had it under a different name, so if you'd
Oh, okay,
talk
yeah, it
about
might
like
have
what it
been
was and
under
what it's
the
gonna be.
Environmental Investigation Project, I think it went by a few names.
Yeah.
I just remarketed it as a newcomer onto the Science Center. But it's a three-pronged project that includes the seasonal testing of the air quality and water quality in 6 different sites for the air and 7 water bodies in the Riverhead and Southampton areas. We test for very indicative features of the overall health, including for the water pH, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, phosphates, and nitrates. And then for the air, we focus our testing on fine particulate matter, which is a cause for health concerns.
Do you wanna
Well, is
hand
this
out
the,
the-
Oh, yeah.
what water bodies are you testing? Ponds?
So we're testing ponds and the Conic River, so it's a mix of both. And
Because
then
there is a group already testing the ponds, right? Are you working with them?
so we,
No, not these, not
Are
these.
these just all together? Oh, they're all together.
Seems
So
like you
yes.
wouldn't want to duplicate effort.
They're not, they're
it's
doing
a big
different
packet.
areas.
They
We're
have
doing-
This is another.
actually, all of the sites here aren't conclusive. There are some Riverhead sites that weren't
Thank you.
included here, but it's all available on our website. We make our data publicly available. And it has the digestible version as well as our raw data from what we've collected.
The sites in Southampton town, they're along the Peconic County Center. There's a cranberry bog as you come down Riverley, and there's a mobile home that used to be in Clouds. I'm trying to remember what the current name is. So more than half of the sites are in Southampton.
Riverwalk.
Riverwalk, yes.
Could be
Since
one.
since they did the fish ladder, has anything
Oh.
changed up there on the bog, on the cranberry bog?
As far as the data that was
Yeah,
discovered?
from when the fish, when they installed the fish ladder a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
They're not.
I know that you were involved. Once they put in the fish letter, he wanted to know if their numbers had changed, but I don't know how.
Oh, yeah, I
what
don't
the
think
timing
I have
was.
access to that previous data.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
also part of this project. We want to continue creating a database that's publicly available. It would be added onto our website. All of this that you see here, except for these 2, these are flyers we hand out to our in-person public events. But
Okay.
all of this is directly on our website and available for the public to see.
Okay.
Oh, did you get all of the same ones?
Yeah, I think it's all the same.
And then do you
I got
involve
5
students in
documents.
this?
We do. So we teach educational programs where we tell the kids a little bit about what it is that we study and more importantly, why it's actually relevant to the health of the environment and get the kids interested in ecological relationships. And then we also, so we do 2 different kinds of educational programs. One where we take kids out to Grangeville Park and we have them test the air and water with us so they get some hands-on field experience. And then we also bring it to schools that want a little more information about ecology, and we involve information about our study, as well as why it's important that we look at these factors, especially.
There are some interested individuals that work with our youth bureau that may be interested in this kind of work, and I'm not sure if that's something you would be able to do in partnering with the town, sort of working with our youth bureau to provide educational opportunities. Is that something that your organization does?
Absolutely, I think I'm pretty sure we've done some work with the Southampton Youth Bureau
Youth bureau
already.
before? Great.
I definitely have, so I know
Nice.
they've been there.
That's good to know. And do you have partnerships with any academic organizations,
We do.
Cornell Cooperative?
Yes, so we also take samples of water from all of our sites and we bring them to the SOMAS lab.
SOMAS, good.
Yeah, and they test for cyanobacteria.
Great. Good to know.
But in a broader sense, we have affiliations with higher education. I mean, could you
With,
elaborate?
as far as,
Just in general, the Science Center.
well, we actually work with we work with all the different districts throughout Long Island. We work from Manhattan to Montauk and even Fisher's Island. So we bring our educational programs to all the districts throughout Long Island. So we're not just working with one specific area, we're actually working throughout the entire island. We work with, I guess we've worked with over 300,000 students in the years that we've been kind of, teaching and educating. And this happens to be just really a small portion of what we do, but this is a really big, important aspect of what we're doing. We're trying to get kids really excited and understanding the ecology around them, so we're trying to make sure that they're aware of water quality and air quality around them, and specifically in the communities that we're working with.
So is the grant money used more for the sampling, or is it used more for the actual engagement with the kids?
Programming.
So most of the funding does go towards the interns who are hired to test the air and water, but a big portion of that does go towards the full-time staff who do go out to teach programs as well as help the interns, get the ropes, and then the equipment that we use for the testing.
Yeah, just recently we went out, we go into the different districts and we will kind of talk to and do assemblies and hands-on programming with an entire grade at a time. So just for this particular one, we went out into the local schools and we talked to, we were able to work with the entire grade level and bring the information, have the kids do some hands-on testing themselves, have the kids, do some different activities that help them really understand all about the water quality and the air quality, why it's important. So we really do educate and bring it out into the districts as well. That's part of it as well.
In the town of Southampton, our ponds and water bodies are the jurisdiction of the town trustees. Have you been in contact with them on this? It's,
Yeah, I don't believe
if
so.
we're gonna be testing the water bodies,
Right.
they're gonna wanna know and
Sure.
should know.
Sure.
So that's them up there,
Yes.
right?
Especially why it was
Historically,
like-
the longest, elected body in the United
think
States.
you came-
Councilman Pell was a trustee
think-
for many, many
I
years.
think you came to the
So-
trustees years ago.
Probably.
Yeah.
So this is the
Yeah.
first time with this administration that I've been
Yeah.
before this board, but I've been fairly active. I live in Remsenburg. I've been out here for 45 years.
But
so-
probably on a different matter or a
different
different
matters,
project.
yes.
So, I
I've
mean,
been here
what
for
what I'm
the science
saying,
centers, yeah.
if I may finish, is that anything that you do with the ponds in the town of
Mhm.
Southampton, please loop in the trustees, Southampton Town trustees.
Sure.
Because they have other data you can probably get from them, because other people test the same ponds,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
so you can cross data.
May I ask if you know how many of the other groups who are testing the ponds make that information available?
Most of them all go to the trustees.
Okay, no, that's good.
They just send it, but they don't have it posted online somewhere for the public
Yeah,
to see.
you know.
Mhm.
You just have to ask
Okay.
them. They're pretty good about sharing that.
No, yeah, that's good.
Ex-James Dowie in the office.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've been doing, going back to 2018, is in the eastern portion of the town, in the eastern portion of the estuary, is testing Sag Harbor, the upper cove, the inner cove, and so there are entities there. The Harbor Committee cobbles together monies to test the Southampton and East Hampton side, and this board, the town, has been supporting those testing, so we get that longitudinal data about, dissolved oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus content as well. Now, we took that from our general funds. We could not use water quality monies for that because there's no project connected to it. So I'm assuming that the funding stream for this from us, would be from our grant source rather than water quality. Because that would need a project to be connected to it. A water quality project.
There
But-
is a fund that we have.
So there's
set
another
aside.
funding source there.
That was for a partnership with the Long Island Science Center for this process, so I'm
What's
I'm
Right.
happy.
Now, that wasn't
I can
actually
do it.
granted, was it? We worked on it, but we didn't,
It was funded.
it was
And the money's sitting
funded, but not given.
Not given,
Right.
correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So this has already come up, and there's already an account that was funded for this purpose?
It was a different configuration,
No,
right? There were different individuals and
It
kind
was
of
a
slightly
different
different
individual
plan.
in a partnership with the Long Island Science Center, so that there was a public engagement, component of it with
Mhm.
local students.
And there's been a split there, and, right, so this is a different, or similar,
There's been a
Similar
split?
project.
similar project,
Yes.
and a good one. so.
Yeah, so
You're-
the
you're
project
simply-
is the same, but we no longer have that partnership with the other individual. So,
How's the Sweezy's building coming along?
It's coming. Again, we're waiting for the permits from the town. They've
Yeah.
asked us for more information.
This is
which
phone
we're
number.
Trying to provide. We've decided to move ahead without the town square being built out. We're literally contiguous to the town square, but we've been waiting 3 years. And since we don't know their plans, we've just decided to open up pretty much in the same configuration that the department store had been. And then, once the town square is built, then we'll probably change our orientation to directly enter from the town square. So,
Okay.
thank you for asking.
That'd be nice.
Do you get funding from a lot of different towns?
I don't believe so. I think that no, I mean, we have not gone west and sought any funding from individual
Okay.
towns.
Just like
So,
the
state-
Riverhead,
right.
us.
We just, to help with the renovation of that building, we just received $1 million grant from the county under
Okay.
the Jump Smart.
Oh, that's good.
So you did receive county funding?
Yes.
Yes,
Good.
yes, and we've actually been funded, that it took a while before it's part of it has actually come to our account now. So yes, we've received other grant money from the county in the past and the state. So,
Got the towns? The towns help.
I believe that we've gotten some funding from the town, but we were hoping to get funding from the DRI money that Riverhead had received. We were part of that whole application. But at the state level, they decided, they're the ones that allocate how the money is divided within the town. And they did not choose to fund us. So,
Yeah.
but they have funded us for other things.
Okay, that's good.
So what we would like to see, again, it was $5,000 in the past. We were hoping that we could increase that to $10,000. So, which basically, as Anna had said, that's all directly, it's for the cost of the interns, the equipment, and other aspects of providing this program. So,
So obviously, we'd have to confer amongst ourselves and talk about this, but if you were hypothetically to get more funding, would you be expanding any of your testing to other water bodies?
We're certainly open to it. We actually, as of last year's testing, tested a few more water bodies than the year before. So if there's any other interested groups or even any other water bodies of concern to help, I know that the Riverwoods 1 and 2 water bodies were specifically listed as a, reason for concern by the.
Environmental justice area, yeah.
So it's something that we would be open to.
You're familiar that we're doing a Riverside project where we're, building an STP over there.
Mhm.
Hopefully we'll be taking a lot of the private septics off of the discharging into the river now. I'm hoping that's gonna be a positive thing for the area.
Not sure. It's a good question about process.
I mean, yeah, I'm just not clear on what the process is like.
Yeah.
Where was the funds of the $5,000 from? What?
We would have to ask Dorothy that question.
Yeah, up to
Yeah.
Dorothy.
Because there must be an application process.
Is Dorothy
Yeah.
here, or does?
Yeah, I mean, I can also ask Jamie Bowden, who does our community grants.
Frank, do
Yeah.
you know you're here? Do you happen to know or no?
It's probably through our community giving program,
community
which we
grants.
fund through the Cable Vision. We give to 200 or 300 different, well, maybe not 200, but many different, CME, for example. Good to see. We fund CME, we fund Long Island Cares,
So we have a community
Private.
fund that's tied to Cablevision money?
Yeah,
That's type of cable,
Okay.
and that's usually
And
an
it's-
allocation that's made during the budget process.
yeah, and it's actually
Now-
coming down, unfortunately, so we have to be careful how we spend it.
Is there a process in which applicants have to go through to get that funding, or do they just come before the board?
No, they applied to.
They usually just come before the board, and if there are some questions, we might just reach out to the individual. If it's a new organization that we know very little about, years ago, there was an organization which is active in the Riverhead area.
I don't know if they could hear him on the mic.
There must be an
But it was a
application.
fledgling project, we didn't know, we invited the then director here to speak to the board and answer any questions that the board had, and the then supervisor included an amount, we call it a grant.
Okay.
I think it might have been 5,000 as the museum. I
So
could
just to,
probably
so just to reiterate, Frank, just for
Excuse me a
the,
second, I don't know if they can hear him on the mic.
I'm gonna reiterate it. So Frank, so, yeah, if you wanna just go up there, so.
Sorry about that, I should-
That's okay, yeah, so typically, if we've dealt with the organization prior to, they would come before us, practically speaking, to request an extension of funding. But if we have no knowledge about that organization, we might ask for more information, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, usually we'd invite the people in. If there are no concerns or objections, then when the supervisor prepares the initial budget, she'll make the allocations accordingly. And then the board has the opportunity, as they sometimes do, to say, well, $10,000 here, maybe that should be 7,500. You make those adjustments. There's no formal process involved. The due diligence is interacting with the various agencies.
Got it.
Another thing you could do too, we're vamping up our channel 22 and CTV. They might be able to come out and tape something for you.
Yeah.
Good education for the people.
And that it?
For me, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, if there's no application process, but I think it would be relevant to know what kind of fund, money that you're spending. How much does it cost to do the testing each time, and how many do you do each year, and how many ponds are there,
I think
That's all
we have a
relevant.
breakdown of
I'm sure you have
We have
that,
a breakdown
yeah.
of that.
That would
so
be
That
great.
would be good, yeah.
I believe that's something I would include in the formal request. I know after this meeting, you're supposed to write up a formal letter of request for the funding.
That's what I mean, that's
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean by an
yeah.
application.
So I didn't know if
There
that
must be
would-
some process.
Yeah, I was told that would happen after the meeting, but
Okay.
if it,
Yeah.
the time
Yeah.
mix-up was, that's all.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does
Yes.
anybody else have any other questions?
Not a question, but a statement for the board. I know the trustees are working with another group, and I believe it was the group that was affiliated with you all, who are also asking for funding as well. So the board should keep that in mind as well, and we should probably talk to them.
Yeah.
In
that's
addition,
right.
not, in place of, because I think this is great, So, thank you for doing what you do.
They fund a small group in Sag Harbor would test the water in Sag Harbor, both in East Hampton and
That's the one I was referring to earlier. It's an interesting group. It's the East Hampton trustees, Southampton Town, Village of Sag Harbor Yacht Club, and about 2 or 3 others, and we all put in some monies, and the whole harbor and inner cove gets tested. There's like 7 or 8 different testing sites that they've done for 6 years. You understand longitudinal data and the importance of that. So, good stuff.
Is that the Long Pond area, or that's
No,
East
that's
Hampton?
another one.
Okay,
It's the Sag Harbor Committee.
okay.
But because they're over jurisdictions,
Mhm.
they put together monies from a number of different places, and they get so much to do the testing on it, to come out and do the work and do the testing. And that has led to some projects, runoff projects and other things with the Peconic Estuary Partnership as well.
For drainage and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's an impaired water body, the harbor.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming in.
Thank you. I
Yep,
think
thanks
it's
for coming
great
in.
what you're doing, so thanks for coming in
So,
to explain it to us.
Yes.
On a completely different note, thank you for creating the Riverside Sewer District.
Oh,
Yes.
It's really
We can't
exciting.
wait to move
Yeah.
forward with that
Yes,
project.
very exciting.
Slow train coming.
It's gonna really help.
That's been,
All
You've been
right,
here
so
for
we'll look forward
many
to
years.
getting your
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
formal request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
you spoke to CPF? CPF?
Good to meet you.
Unless it's attached to some kind of project.
Quality project.
All right, well, let's see. Does anybody have any updates, legislative updates?
I'll start.
Okay.
Once again, you are all cordially invited to come to Hampton Bays train station tomorrow. I think when this is aired, it will have already passed, but we are going to have a press conference and rally tomorrow to ask the MTA to include sidings as a capital budget on their 5-year capital plan. So that will be starting in conjunction with the westbound train coming into Hampton Bays. It's going to be great. We all get off the train, we go to the podium, and we ask for sidings.
3:45?
Yes, 3:45.
Don't be late, you missed the train.
So,
Thank you.
there it is, again.
Go ahead. Last month, the Southampton court had 2,557 people come through the front door, and total of fines was $161,952 to the town. They're saving for a new court building.
How much?
$161,952. I want to put shout out to Peter and the facilitator manager for Southampton Building. They fixed a couple of spots in the floor up on the second floor. And he's actually looking into redoing the second floors upstairs, trying to keep the building up.
But that's very much appreciated.
Yes, and
You
the
don't
sewer's
want any
coming.
trip involved.
Yeah, the sewer's coming, and the West Hampton rec central slash adult is the bids will be back in another couple of weeks.
Yeah, can't wait
That's
for
very
those to
exciting.
come in.
Michael, you
Um,
have anything?
I'll let Supervisor go first.
I just attended the county executive. He's initiating some roundtables to get input on topics like solid waste removal and affordable housing. So he had the affordable housing one earlier this week. I think it was Monday. And it's just really great that he's trying to get people together to think through these issues that affect all of us. I was glad to be able to participate.
That's great. So I just have a couple. So this past May 4th, the Youth Bureau held a pancake breakfast on May 4th for Star Wars Day, which it is now officially known as. It was really great. A lot of families came by, had some breakfast, met some of the Star Wars characters. I did bring my lightsaber, had a good time. And it's just great that the Youth Bureau does these kinds of programs with the kids. And it really teaches a lot of the participants who are helping out community service. It's a good thing.
Yeah, we're lucky to have that youth bureau.
Yeah, thank you to Tracy and Peter Strecker, Tracy Colson and Peter Strecker. Also this week, Bill and I attended the North Sea CAC meeting. We heard some just various comments from the constituents, and there's going to be a community meeting hopefully in the fall to address the North Sea Road project. So we, Legislator Fleming, Legislator Welker was there, and she provided updates as well. Also, the Youth Bureau is doing a Battle of the Bands at Ponquag Beach on June 7th. I will be a judge. And so again, thank you to Tracy and Peter for their work in organizing that. And later, tomorrow, between 12 and 2, the Hampton Bays American Legion is doing a food drive with Long Island Cares. They do this periodically throughout the year. So, if you know any veterans who are in need of food, they also sometimes give out shoes and clothing, so socks, necessities. So feel free to send them down to the American Legion in Hampton Bays tomorrow between 12 and 2. I'm complete.
Very good, thank you.
Okay. Last Saturday, I want to thank Jackie Fenlon and the CPF department for putting together a wonderful, it was almost like a fair day for CPF at the Good Ground Park, celebrating 25 years of CPF. We honored Fred Thiel, who spoke, also Ken Laval, who couldn't be there, Kevin McDonald, and John Halsey from Peconic Land Trust. It was actually a really great event, and it was kind of great because, Jackie Fenlon said when she was putting it all together, like, who do I have? And so she started reaching out to all the different organizations that CPF touches throughout the year or throughout time, I guess. And so there were all these tables, the Long Pond Greenbelt, the Trails Association, Mono was there.
Bono?
No, Mono.
There's so
Lori
many.
McGill-
The historical society.
The historical societies were there. There was the Tupper Boathouse. There was all kinds of different organizations that CPF engages with, and it's actually really nice to talk to the people from those organizations and hear how CPF had helped and funded things for them through the years.
Yep.
And then Monday night, I was delighted to be invited by Boy Scout Troop 58 in Southampton. They're working on a merit badge, and I have to say, it was a young group of boys, and we covered everything from dirt bikes to the changing socioeconomic status of people in the town of Southampton. I mean, it was, the questions, I was supposed to be there for 20 minutes, and it was a rough start because we asked if anybody had any questions, and nobody wanted to raise their hand. And then once they started, I ended up there answering questions for over an hour. And
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Such
and
good engagement.
and they were, really good questions. From building department issues, and it was actually, pretty amazing. And I forgot how much I miss engaging with the kids, because not only do they have stake in the town and their future here, but they also have some out-of-the-box ideas that they come up with that, or questions that they ask that really make you think. So I actually had a really fun time with them. And then I just want to remind everybody, Tuesday next week at 11 a.m. at Good Ground Park on May 21st, we will be having our ribbon cutting for the Hometown Heroes banner program. And then on Wednesday, May 22nd, we will be having our next Best Steering Committee meeting, which is a public engagement session. And I just want to reiterate the time for people because we did have a conflict with this room. So it is from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And that is on Wednesday, the 22nd.
Thank you. Very good information.
Thank you.
I'd like to add to my report as well. You all kind of inspired me here. This past week, I went to the Watermill CAC, and the topic there was traffic and some of the changes that we discussed at our meeting, and also signage. They brought an interesting point to my attention that on Montauk Highway, there is one speed limit for one direction and another speed limit for another direction. So we're going to be looking into that.
We have a-
One's approaching the business district, the other is going out of it. I understand, but we'll get to the bottom of that. And last night I went to Franca, and this, of course, is Flanders, Riverside, Northampton area, and we got a presentation from the Riverhead Central School District Superintendent and Business Manager for their budget, and it was really a great opportunity to let the people of the community know the amount of taxes that are paid into the Riverhead Central School District. From our side, it is one school, despite what our neighbors might say. We are part of the school district proudly, and also to note the amount of pilot payments that the town of Southampton provides to the Riverhead School District as well. And they were also very excited and very happy with this board about the formation of the sewer district and what we're doing and moving forward, because they've been on that, for decades. So it was a really great meeting as well. And I went to Troop 455 in Sag Harbor, my old troop. It was great. Brought maps as well. Great questions. The upcoming generation,
Kids
they
are
really,
wonderful.
they care. So thank you.
All right. no one has anything else, thank you for all of that, and I move to close this meeting
Second.
and adjourn to executive session. Just a moment.
We have a
To
second?
discuss litigation, contracts, and personnel.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Kevin said I need to hit the